Hello and welcome to Beyond the Bio, the recap. In these short episodes, I'm recapping Monday's show and encouraging you to take an action as a result. If you missed Monday's show, go back and take a listen. You will find the link in the show notes. So this week was a bit of a different topic to usual in that I was reflecting on a whole year of Beyond the Bio, the podcast, and also sharing the news that my new book is out and available to buy now. I was talking about the podcast. It has been out for a year, which is wild. You know, a lot of people want to do podcasts and should do podcasts. I think podcasts are absolutely awesome. And I really am genuinely having so much fun doing the show, being able to wax lyrical about all sorts of topics, but also to be able to invite really impressive guests onto the show to pick their brains and find out what they know and be able to share that with everybody. The thing is with podcasts, though, is you do hear a lot of people say, oh, you know, everyone's got a podcast. And sometimes it does feel like that. There's definitely a lot of podcasting going on. But what you do see a lot of is people giving up quite quickly because it does take quite a bit of time to put them together. I'm fortunate that I have a podcast studio, so I can literally just pop next door and record my episodes, and I've got a team to edit them and do all the things to make it sound brilliant. So that is a huge bonus and makes it easier for me. But you can do a podcast on any kind of technology. It is very simple just to get going. I think the challenge is to keep the motivation high, to be consistent. So when I see some of our clients do podcasts, they quite often do it as a season, which I think works really well because you know how long you've got your 6 episodes, 12 episodes, whatever. And that is something you can commit to, then have a break and then relaunch with the next season. So that is a really good technique to keep the motivation high, keep it affordable if you're paying to do it professionally, but also just to keep that consistency going. It's harder to do a show every week, so I am at a huge advantage by having the studio to hand. But what I see a lot is people getting really excited about doing their podcast, deciding they want to commit to weekly with no break, and then running out of steam a few weeks in. There's some stat flying around that says you only have to get to episode, I think it's like 5 or 6, to be in the top whatever % of podcasters, because so many people give up after only a few episodes. And you know, the reality is it does take a level of commitment. It has to. You've got to think about what you're going to talk about, plan out the episodes, particularly if you've got longer episodes. I mean, mine tend to be quite short, which helps with that. But I think it is that motivation to keep going. And as well, unless you're a superstar celebrity or you've got a huge following, you're probably not going to have massive download numbers from the off. You have to build an audience. It's the same with social media. You're unlikely to be an overnight sensation. You've got to keep plodding away. And it's, you know, those early weeks or months of only getting a few likes or a few downloads or whatever. That is just the reality of something. So if you are going to commit to it, you've got to go all in and you've got to be in it for the long haul and keep building it. And that's what I've done. The show's doing well. It has been charting in various countries around the world. So it's fairly consistently in the UK chart, but it's also been making an appearance in charts elsewhere. So I shared some of the countries that the show's been charting in. So we've had South Africa, Kenya, Estonia, Ireland, Australia, Denmark, Nigeria, and Israel. Completely wild, but super cool. I'm very grateful to all listeners of the show. Thank you. Please like, rate, subscribe. I've probably not said that for a few weeks, so please do that. But the main show this week wasn't all about celebrating a year of Beyond the Bio. It was to launch my new book. So my new book, my third book, From Unknown to Unforgettable, How to Build a Personal Brand That Goes Beyond the Bio. On Monday's show, I was officially launching the book because we've had all sorts of launch activities taking place this week. We had an amazing launch party on Monday in London. It was really exciting. We had the most magical venue on the top floor of the Hilton at Tower Hill. So amazing views across London. Lots of drinks were consumed. We had clients and friends attend. And we had BBC One's The Apprentice interviewer, the Queen of Mean herself, Linda Plant, interviewing me, give me a good grilling about all things book. Linda is super fun. She's actually a really solid business pal of mine and someone that I turn to often for advice. She's also represented by Moja for her speaking engagements. So if you want to bring Linda to your event, please drop me a note. And she's a brilliant speaker. She's very down to earth, not quite as mean as she is on the telly, although she can be if you want her to be, but a real support for me. And yeah, she added a lot of fun to the launch on Monday. If you're listening to this in real time on Thursday, we have the Newcastle leg of the book launch this evening. So I'm very excited to be back in my hometown and celebrating with clients and friends in the Toon as well. But all week we've been doing lots of launch activity around the book because it is only 99p on Kindle for this week only. This is to celebrate the launch. It's not only available on Kindle, you can also get it on paperback and audiobook too. But the deal is Kindle for 99p. All sales this week are going to the charity that I chair, SmartWorks Newcastle, supporting unemployed women across the northeast with interview clothing coaching. So this is the week to get your copy because the proceeds are going to a fantastic charity. So my take action for this week, it's a little bit of a cheeky one. It's going to have to be to buy the book. You'll find the link to buy the book in the comments. It's going to cost you 99p, but please support the book launch this week. And if you love the book, leave a review, drop me a note. I'd love to hear your feedback. And as always, I will see you next week, probably a bit hungover, on Monday.